Welcome to the Zespri Channel. My name is Fritz. I'm an FMT, which is short for Fruit Monitoring Technician. In this episode, I'm going to show you what the job as an FMT entails, what it's like to be aboard a ship, what our conditions are. While the stevedores are busy loading the ship, you and the wharf technician will meet down at the Zespri office at the port of Tauranga. Along with all your equipment, your test equipment, your personal gear, etc., you will then be boarding the ship. Once aboard the ship, you'll be taken up to meet with the captain and you'll be shown your quarters. From then on, it's just time to get settled in and get started on what's going to be an epic journey. I'm just about to go and meet and be introduced with the captain now. So on our way over to his office. Hello, Captain. Hello, how are you? I'm good, thank you. After meeting with the captain along with your wharf technician and going through all the formalities, you'll then be shown your cabin. Now note, inside the cabin there is a cabinet over to the right, and in there is your life jacket, your helmet and your survival suit. You'll also be shown obviously the showers, toilets and the laundry facilities. A really good tip for when you're aboard a ship, like in my case it's a Russian crewed vessel, is to download the Google Translate app and make sure you get an offline pack because you won't have internet while you're out. It's going to help you a lot just to learn a few basic words in whatever language the crew speaks. Right next to the galley, we've got the mess. This is the officer's mess where I've been placed. And on the other side of the galley, you've got the crew mess, which is exactly the same.
Buon appetito, friends.
Спасибо. Up here on the bridge, you'll be spending a little bit of time coming up, and the most important thing is before you go in the holds every day, you'll go to this computer. Might look different on other ships, but there will be a computer that'll tell you all the temperatures and the CO2 levels, etc. in the holds. For safety reasons, no one's allowed to enter the holds alone. You always have to be accompanied by a seaman when you go in there. And in this case, I've had Denise assigned to me, and he's been my buddy throughout the whole voyage. One of the first jobs you can do when you're aboard the ship, and this can be done even while the ship is loading, is to go into the holds and collect the information for your libraries. So you need to climb down each individual hold to whatever deck you have to collect information from and get all the pallet numbers and grower numbers for each individual library. You will need this information to transfer into your spreadsheets before you can start testing. So here's my kit out for venturing into the holds. Brand new helmet. As you can see on top of it, it's got some nice white scratches. It saved my head more than once. can be quite low in some of the holes. And a helmet light, really handy to have as well, especially when you're inside collecting fruit and going to illuminate the boxes. A warm jacket and a pair of overalls. You can wear the jacket inside the overalls, and bag for collection of fruit. On the jacket and all that stuff, it's you want to have some warm clothes, but not too warm. It's 33 degrees outside at the moment. We're in the tropics, but it is obviously cold in the holes, and there's a wind chill factor from the fans, so you've got to find a good balance of what keeps you comfortable. Other stuff that I carry with me, obviously a notebook and a pen and a felt pen to mark the boxes, a box cutter to cut open new boxes when we run out, the temperature probe, you might be able to read it, it's about just under 30 degrees inside here, and our new personal oxygen sensor and CO2 sensor that we carry with us on our bodies as well. Collecting fruit for a test is an exercise that takes about an hour and a half. There are 4 holes and 2 decks on each hole that have pallets of fruit for testing. All in all, we collect 320 fruit for one test day. I'm pretty lucky. I've been given the officer's smoking lounge as my test lab while we are en route to China. The officer's not using it, so yeah, I'm welcome in here. Just clean it up before the agents come in. So as you can see, I spread my wings in here, so I've got my test set up. Got a little USB speaker so I can have some music. The computer, all that set up ready to rock and roll. I'm actually in the middle of the work right now. Got my bin here with fruit in just for the next test, and the rest of it I store in the chef's fridge. He's been very kind in letting me have that as well. A little bit of extra fruit here. This is fruit that I've already tested, and just picking the most ripe stuff that's, you know, still maybe edible. When you're on board a vessel, you've got to be mindful that it's a working environment. It's got to be safe, and the ship's moving. It can be rolling quite a bit at times. So here's our power cable. It's obviously taped to the ground. You've got this wonderful black tape that your wharf technician will kit you out with. And these tables here are really nice. So what we did, we took a one of the big fruit bags to cover the table with, so that we do not do any damage to it, so we can leave it nice and tidy again when we're packing up. So again, we're utilizing that black tape and taped it down to it. And as you can see, I've taped my actual workstation to it again.
I had to redo it because there's quite a gap between the couch and the coffee table, and I was getting a little bit of a sore back, so I had to retape it and put it as close to, you cantilever it over the table and get it a little bit closer to the couch.
For early season fruit, it is normal to kickstart the ripening process by releasing ethylene gas in the holes. This is normally done quite early in the voyage. The gas that we are releasing is a combination of nitrous oxide and ethylene, which is a natural gas as well, and in the concentrations that we are dealing with, it is completely non-toxic. The amount of ethylene gas released into the holes is carefully calculated and measured by special meters attached to the bottles. A full ethylene gas bottle weighs about 22 kilos, so it's quite a task to carry them up and down the ladders getting into the holes. Working aboard a commercial vessel, enjoying the sceneries outside work hours, going to overseas destinations is a very unique and cool experience to have, and probably the reason why there are so many FMTs that does trip and trip again. Sunsets or sunbathing, there are many ways to enjoy your free time aboard the ship. It's important that you bring your own personal items that'll keep you entertained when you spend time by yourself in your cabin. It's very common for ships to have some basic facilities that allow crew to get some exercise or to relax. It can be a small gym, it can be a pool, maybe outside on the deck, or it can be a sauna. Be mindful that as an FMT you are a guest amongst 20 plus crew, so use these facilities at off-peak hours to avoid any conflict. We've just arrived at Shanghai with a load of 5,000 tons of kiwifruit, which I've been testing en route to here. So now the exciting times for me come, job's done, gonna relax and enjoy being at a foreign destination.